Hi, I'm Lee Wilson from Two Guys Outdoors, and what we're going to do right now is kind of a review of what I carry in Infidel Bob. And there's a reason he's Infidel Bob. From, one of the websites I like going to, LA Police Gear. I got the Infidel patch. Clayton's going to zoom in here for you real quick. And Bob, of course, stands for bailout bag. But this is just my general everyday carry bag. When I run out in the woods, and I go hiking, camping, what's in this bag is always with me. And it's not quite done yet. There are a few little items that I'd like to add to it. That's all just going to come in time. But for today, we're going to go over, what it is and what I have in there. And now, Bob is a Maxpedition Versa Pack. It's a jumbo Versa Pack, and I've added a few little things to it, namely my Anemone Maxpedition pouch, which is normally where I keep my camera. And it's real nice because it has a padded part in there for the screen to be protected, and a few little extra places in there so that way you can actually, store your stuff securely. The front pouch has a little clip on it so you can put your cell phone in there. That is very, very functional. Needs to keep your cell phone, whatever. More for the blooper reel. So we're back. Another thing I keep on this pack is a Maxpedition Rollie Pollie, and it just attaches to my shoulder strap right here. And it goes on there and you open it up. There's been numerous reviews. The Rollie Pollies on YouTube, Mil-Spec Monkey's done them, Dave Canterbury's done them, but it's an essential item. I never leave home without it. It's just so useful. In three gun shooting competitions, I've used it as a shotgun shell holder. Because when you're shooting a stage that has 20 rounds of shotgun shells, you can't just really stuff those in your pocket. So I just take this off and put it on my belt, and it rolls up nice and compact and just stays right on Bob at all times. There are a lot of MOLLE attachment points on the Versa Pack, which I really like, and it has a padded back so that way when it's bouncing around on your hip, it's nice and ventilated and good like that. So starting on the outside, I have my Nalgene bottle and the Nalgene holder, and this is just a Nalgene bottle that I got from REI. One thing I do have in there is basically the water spout that Clayton's zooming in on right now, and that is from Guyot Designs. And it's great because when you pour your water out and you're drinking from it, you're not going to spill the water all over you, like it just happens with Nalgene bottles. And they're just tough as hell and really hold up well. This bottle's been seeing some good use, and I've had another Nalgene bottle before, and it's gotten a couple of years of use out of it, and I've been real pleased with it. So starting on the top pouch, you have this little top cocoon pouch, and basically what I keep in there is a little Tasco 10x25 monocular, just good for, giving you a little extended vision range. So I keep that in there. I also keep a Coolin's signal mirror. I just picked this up at REI for like $4 or $5, and this is an actual signal mirror with the sighting device in it. Very useful in case you get into a situation where you do need to signal an aircraft. So that just stays in the top pouch. In the very front pouch, I always keep my Silva compass. I'm eventually going to upgrade to a Brunton Adventure Racing compass, but that's just on the list. My Silva I have, it works. I do have a length of paracord, a couple of feet of paracord wrapped around it, so I can throw it around my neck if I need to. And I always have my compass with me. It's a very important tool to have in the bag. On the side of the bag, on this side, I have one Chem Light in green. This is one of the 12-hour Chem Lights. It's not, one of the high-intensity burning ones, but it'll be good. It'll give you enough light. In the other clamshell, I have spare magazines for my pistol. I don't need to get to them rapidly, so they just sit in there, and that's another 16 rounds. It's a single stack 9mm. Another thing I have in here is my Maxpedition Vatika battery holder, and this actually came with another pouch that is on another piece of equipment that I own. It's actually on my my large pack, and this holds 8 CR123A batteries that I use for my flashlight. So that just sits in here perfectly. Another thing in here is I have a very loud survival whistle, and it's just a good thing to have around, in case you need for your signaling devices. It's very useful. I'm going to go ahead and stick this stuff back in here while I'm thinking about it. Magazines. As Clayton points out, need the magazines back in there. It'd be not fun to lose these at 40 bucks a pop. Thank you, Sig Sauer, for not producing them anymore. So that moves us to the main compartment. There is a little slip pouch on the front. Normally, I have some dryer lint in there in a plastic Ziploc bag or Ziploc style bag, and that's going to be, I use that for fire starting and tinder. Most important equipment I keep in front of this pouch is right here. This is my ancient Leatherman multi-tool. It's one of the original Leatherman multi-tools, and I'm still using it. I got it when I was 12, and I'm 12 or 13, and I'm 24 now. So, you know, it's held up. You take care of your equipment, it's going to last you a long time. There is a little key clip in here, and on this, I keep a Light My Fire steel, and then I keep a bunch of snap rings. And we'll do a video on the snap rings and making a snap ring snare out of these. It's a trigger trapping device, and I got these when I ordered my rat cutlery Izula knife, which always stays on my hip, and I'll do a review on that too. But so I don't lose it, I always keep it snapped in here, and I always know where it is. Another thing I have in here is some Kleenex and some toilet paper in a Ziploc bag, and this is one of the heavy-duty Ziploc freezer bags, one of the small 1-quart ones. Tons of uses for these Ziploc bags, including just compressing and keeping your toilet paper and your Kleenex dry. You don't necessarily need that, but I have terrible allergies, so I keep it anyway. It's kind of a luxury item. Another item I have in here, because we do live close to Palo Duro Canyon, which is a Texas state park, in another Ziploc 1-quart freezer bag, I keep a USGS 1/24,000th scale, topo map. And whenever we go out hiking in the canyon, I always have this with me, and I can map. It is a little outdated. Last time it was updated was 1978, so it's still useful, but you got to just be aware of that. Another thing I have in here, another plastic bag, is just one of the emergency space blankets. You can get it at Walmart for $3. I've used one before. I was camping out in New Mexico, and it got real cold at night, and my best friend was using my sleeping bag, of course. So while she was nice and comfortable, I froze to death and decided to pull out my thermal blanket in here and use it, and it actually worked pretty well. It's loud, but it's a good thing to have in an emergency. Another thing I keep in here is, this is a International Safety Orange match case. It's waterproof. It does have a little striking thing around here on the bottom, which is completely useless. But I keep a full load of Strike Anywhere matches in it, just in case. Just part of my fire kit. I always like to have several different methods of lighting fire. I am a smoker, so I always have a cigarette lighter on me, and just in case. I also have potable aqua, and just in case I need to use this to purify some water. That, combined with my Nalgene bottle, gives me potable water. This is not my preferred method. I am going to acquire an Aquamira Frontier Pro water filter that'll filter 50 gallons, but that just hasn't come up in the shopping list yet. We're poor college students and poor college graduates, so we got to kind of work on a budget. I do have a Right in the Rain all-weather notebook. I'll use this. Keep spare notes, journals, field logs, everything. Shooting data if I'm doing long-range shooting. So this is a new acquisition. I used to use a Moleskine small notebook, but this is a much, much nicer notebook. That just stays in this little slip pouch on the front here. Another thing I have in here is a mechanical pencil, just general old Zebra mechanical pencil, something I picked up at school and stuck in here then, and a industrial Sharpie, just because you never know in a situation where you might need to mark something. This bag goes with me everywhere, and if there's ever an emergency situation in a city and you're called on to help people triage, you'll always see EMTs with Sharpies, and they'll write information on people's foreheads with these Sharpies, and that's another reason to have that in there. So that just fits in there nice and snug. Everything fits pretty well in this bag. The only time I do have issues is when I am carrying a lot of equipment, but then again, I have my Everly stock gunslinger pack for anything more than just a day hike, if I need to carry a fair bit of gear on me. But that all just sits nicely in the front of the clamshell.